one time I actually fainted at the taxi. My dad told me the story. We were on our way to Sea Point, and then along the way, I somehow almost died, almost at my deathbed. Up until the taxi driver took a twist and took me to the hospital. And I also got shot in 2020. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Siyamthanda Tshimangadzo. I am 19 years of age and I reside in Cwecwe. I am a dancer and a singer. So a little bit about myself is I am very easygoing. I love communicating with a lot of people, although I am an introvert, but I love socializing myself with people. And the reason why I'm here today in this podcast is to tell a story and to inspire other young youths of today that life, there's a lot beyond life, and that's why I'm here. Yeah. So, about a little bit about my background. I dalkhulela eKhayelitsha Cwecwe, and Khayelitsha, the township, And I grew up. I'm a premature. Yes, I'm premature. I grew up as a bubbly person. I'm a person that was bubbly, loved. I was a social, when I was young, I used to carry a pram with me and walk around the streets and sing along with the pram up until I got into primary school. So primary school was St. Augustine's Roman Catholic, and we call it Roma. It's in Weinberg. How I fell in love with dancing. How did I fall in love with dancing? I fell in love with dancing when I was in grade 5. So in grade 5, there were hip-hop dance classes, right? And I was so eager to, finally, I want to learn a new skill. I'm like, okay, let me go and join this hip-hop classes and see what they're all about. Originally, they were, in grade 2, but then by the time I didn't really, didn't care about it. But then in grade 5, I was like, nah, man, let me try and learn this. Mind you, I had no skill, I had no rhythm whatsoever. I just got there and did nonsense. I had no rhythm at all. I had no rhythm, Shem. Up until I got help from my cousin, my younger cousin, my older cousin. Shout out to my younger cousin. He'd help me to get a little bit of rhythm. We'll play a song and then he'll teach me step by step how to do the dance. And then I realized that this hip-hop thing is not working for me, so let me just step back. For a certain period of time, I was like, nah, let me withdraw myself from here because I do not know how to do these moves at all. Then I came grade 6. Grade 6, I started listening to schoolboy, those type of music, those type of sound. And I was like, okay, let me try and see what I can do here. And I did a lot, in primary school in Dundee, I was dancer in my friend group. Especially there was a day in Valentine's Day. So in the morning, obviously they'll be and I would play music out loud, and I was in the circle, I was the center. I would dance my heart out, and I'm just I feel so happy because who knew I would achieve, who knew I would be dancing now, Then grade 7, I discovered I'm a piano. That's when I discovered I'm a piano. Then I started taking on piano very seriously. Grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. I shot a lot of dance videos when I was in grade 9, at the age of 15. I shot a lot of them. Just that by the time I didn't have socials like Instagram or TikTok, I only used WhatsApp by the time. So I would not post. I would post it on my WhatsApp status. Then in grade 10. I didn't fall off that much, but I somehow fell off, because my phone got stolen in the Eastern Cape. So now all my work was gone. I'm like, now I have to restart again. I have to download songs again, And then in grade 10, I had to pick up my pace, obviously. And as a scholar, I used to do dance as a subject. Yes, I used to do dance as a subject. And in grade 7 as well, Danienza as a subject. Basically, dance I carried with me through primary school to high school. Because in grade 10, there'll be dance classes. There was a subject called dance studies. And I would, even though I wasn't perfect, but I would dance. And then in 2022, I remember there was a Glory House session, and then I met up with this guy. Shout out to Sam Kumsi for actually bringing me here. You like creds, kudos to you. So he saw that like I got a lot of talent. There's something in me that I didn't see. So like no man, I can actually there's something about this girl and I can actually work with her. So we worked together, yeah, but then by that time I was phoneless. I had no phone. Me and my mother used the same phone. So I was like, yo, now I don't know how to communicate with Umjita because like Umjita wanted to communicate with me. Like, okay, there'll be events. I wouldn't show. There was a video that he wanted me to do, but I could not do it because I was, like I said, phoneless, you know. So last year I got my phone back. Thank God. I got my phone back and then I made communication with him somehow in November, Musu. Then I explained the whole situation as to what happened. He welcomed me back into the family. I sent him like I think 3 or 4 dance videos or 5 dance videos last year and this year as well. And he saw that now you really got potential. I should actually take this dancing thing like serious. Yeah, I should take it serious. And I'm like, but you know, personally, now I just dance for fun. But he realized that I have potential and I know I can do it if I just put my focus and I can put discipline and consistency, which is why I'm thinking hopefully by this month I can push my content, start posting more, make myself public, you know, so that when people want to reach me, they can see that, oh, okay, she's a dancer and stuff. And now I am a first lady of that record label. So thank you so much to Entertainment Connect's record for making me the first lady of the record. I promise to do a lot and exceedingly and beyond. And yeah, and as for singing, I discovered that in grade 4. I realized that I was a singer in grade 4. Like I can sing a lot in grade 4. And I even took that as a subject as well in high school. Make it as a subject. And my high school teacher, she loved my voice to a point where they would even put me in school events. And I'm just there like, guys, I'm not in that space. I don't like, you know, performing in front of people. But eventually I did. And I think that's where I got like my confidence. I realized that the more you perform, yeah, you're gonna feel shy at the end, but then once you allow your voice and your body to move, sort of, then you realize that, oh no, it's not that bad. And yeah, that's a little bit of herself. That's how she developed as a character, Musu, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I see that you have like high energy now that we are having this conversation. So take me back when you are in a Catholic school. What's happening there? Because we hear people saying things about Catholics. So does that mean you were praying 5 times a day? Or singing 24 hours? What type of person were you when you were in the school? And who was your best friend like?
I had a lot of best friends actually in primary school. They know themselves. I had a lot of best friends by the time. So what happened in that Catholic school is that Thursdays we'll go. So this is my school, and then just next to it, there's a church of its own. So St. Augustine's and so my primary school and the Catholic school, like they have some sort of connection. So we'll go there on Thursdays. On Thursdays there'll be Holy Communion. There'll be they'll take the bread and then this is the bread, and the wine, and then they give it to the Catholic children. If you're a Catholic, then you had to eat this little thing, that little circle thing. Yeah. If you're not Catholic, then you just had to do this. And then they put a cross in your forehead. But not like a cross. If it was Ash Wednesday, I remember it was Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday, what will happen is, you take all the primary school kids, form a line, and then the priest or the deacon will take the black thing and put it in your head and make a cross in it, and make a cross in your forehead, and then you sit down, and that was a resemblance of that Jesus died for you in the cross, and with his stripes you are healed. And I think that's the way I've managed to get closer to God, because like in my family as well, we are a Christian family. We believe in prayer. We believe that Jesus did really die for us in the cross, and yeah, that's why Roman Catholic. Yeah.
So now that you have been doing these things at school, like in terms of getting the cross, did you see its power? Like, was it really working at that time, or did you just have to have faith that you're gonna pass? Because I believe that if you go into that school, no
Mm-hmm.
one has to fail because it's just for us.
Yes.
So how did you see it working through you, or just wanna know, man, like, do you believe what they do there it works, or it's just a sham or a scam that's just going around trying to get
For other
people to
people,
believe they are in Jesus?
Hey, I don't know. I'm a baby Christian, so I can just like give a little bit of an explanation. For me, I didn't really take it seriously. Like I just believe it's a cross. There's a cross on. I've been marked with a cross on my forehead, and that's it. I should not wipe it off or whatever. I should leave it there as is up until it fades away itself. But until I discovered when I would go to church every Sunday as well, and Geshem, Sundays, it's a lot better than actually. I felt like my church was more better than me going to this because it was so, I don't know, it was so shallow. Like, but I believed that I had to have faith and hope and trust that like God is with me in every step. And I believe through my post-traumatic experiences, I have, like, if it wasn't for God, either I would have been dead or I would have been unalive or I would have been nowhere at all. But because by God's grace, I'm here standing, sitting in front of you guys, presenting myself. So yeah, I believed that it worked in a way.
Yeah, I'm so shocked to hear that someone so beautiful can say they've been through traumas and things like that. Because the society has painted like bad things are only happening to black people or other people, right? So if
Yeah.
you're beautiful, your life is amazing. You look at celebrities, their life is popping. People say, "Wow, I wish I
Yeah.
could be like that person," right? So on your side, if you don't mind sharing, what do you refer to when you say past traumatic experiences?
So, growing up, I had suffered from epilepsy. Ne? I had epilepsy problems. But I was a few months old though. I think I was 1 year old or so. I'm not sure. So I had epilepsy problems, meaning like I didn't know how to speak at all. So I was very. One time I actually fainted at the taxi. My dad told me the story. We were on our way to Sea Point, and then along the way, I somehow didn't. I fainted, almost died, almost at my deathbed. Up until the taxi driver took a twist and went to the hospital, took me to the hospital, and I also got shot in 2020, if I remember. Yes, but it's nothing serious. I got shot at the foot. Like it just opened up my skin, and then but there were no bones cracked in. Yeah, I got I got shot. And I don't believe in this thing of like beautiful people don't have everyone. I feel like each and every certain individual in this world that we are living in currently, we all have a broken story, right? I believe that we all have a broken story, whether you are a teenager, young woman, or man, or or millionaire even. Even these celebrities that we see, they all have a broken story. The only thing is that, like in this life, we are freestyling this life. To be honest with you, this life is, we are not given by a manual. There will be days where we hurt people or people hurt us. We hurt ourselves. Yeah, I hurt myself. I was suicidal, depressed and stuff. I was so, I think it was because I came to accept the fact that I was an average learner. Because in primary school, I was a very smart learner. And whatever the person knew, I'll make sure that I'll know it better. Like I learn from the person, then I can do better than the next person. But then as that shifted, I just came to a point where I'm like, nah, I'm an average learner. And then I think that's where my self-esteem also just bashed down, and yeah, and I'm no longer this talkative person. What. Yeah, yes, and a lot, and throughout this traumatic experience, one thing I've discovered is that God can actually use those broken people and restore them. Sonke, we are all broken. We're all broken human beings, okay? our spirits are broken, souls are broken, like we are broken, you know. But what I've realized is that we can use our broken story. There is beauty in our brokenness. Let's just not use that as if we failed. Because failure is part of the process. Failure is part of success, you know. Without failure, then you haven't learned anything. If you believe that you're perfect, then you haven't learned anything. You'll know nothing about what it's like to fail and get back up, fail and get back up, you know. But I personally believe that throughout my traumatic experience, throughout the stuff that I've been through, I believe that behind that there's beauty in it, and I can use that as a motive and somehow an inspiration to other people that it's not too late for you to start. You can start at 25 and still be successful. It's never too late for you. The only time it's late is when you realize you're at the hospital, realizing who your dreams, it's gone. You know there's no hope. But if God, I've also realized that if God keeps on waking you up in the morning, that means there is a purpose. There is a purpose for you. It's just that we don't know what our purpose is. That's why we need to keep on finding ourselves. Heal if we need to heal to certain situations. Even if you feel alone, or heal with people, socialize with people. You know, because stress can also come through self-isolation. Stress comes. I've realized sometimes I would faint because of stress. I overthink a lot of things. I'm an overthinker. I love overthinking for some reason, and I don't know why I like overthinking. I shouldn't do that because I'm destroying myself. Even my mom would tell me that, girl, you're too young to be stressing at this point, you know, because this age allows me. At the age of 19, I'm still allowed to be doing a lot of things, you know, and I'm still young in this industry. I don't know nothing. I just arrived. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to pick up the pace, trying to understand, okay, what are the pros and cons? Yeah, so guys, to all the youth, even to the old people out there, don't use your broken story as a failure or as a setup or as a setback. Use it as something that, like, you grew from it, you healed from it, and you've discovered that, okay, you did things yourself, you did things in the past that hurt other people, but now it's up to you to change, you know? Everyone has a broken story, but how we overcome it, it's up to us. It's either we accept the situation and accept it as it is, or we make a move. So yes, that's...
You said something about being short, right? So
yeah.
You left it out and said, no, it's just a small scratch, but can you please give us a scenario, what happened on that day? How it felt when you were shot, like, did you feel it coming in and out, things like that? Okay. What happened on that day when you got shot?
So that day, I was sorting out my uniform. I was in grade 8. Yeah. So I realized that my uniform was too big. It was a pullover type. It was giving me pullover vibe. So me and my mother, we took it to the tailor to go and sort it out, to sort out the waist. That was the only problem. Okay, fine, not a problem. Then we went to the shop. I went to go buy eggs and bread the first time. I went to go to the shop to buy eggs and bread, not a problem. My mother made those eggs and bread, fine. We ate. I was tired. I wanted to go sleep. Then my mother sent me to the shop again to buy eggs and bread, but maybe this was for like the next day or so. So I went to the shop. This is the second time I'm going to the shop. This second time I wasn't lucky at all, because where I live, there is like Ikhangi, sort of, you know, where people cross and stuff. So I went there. I didn't realize there was someone behind me. You know. So behind me there was this tall guy, and behind him there was just 3 guys. And behind those 3 guys, these 3 guys, one of those 3 guys actually that were in front of them. You know. But I didn't understand what really happened. So they ran, and the bullet started from the guy that was behind me. Then it scratched my leg just as I'm about to go out. Luckily people from like opposite the road, they saw me, and they saw what happened, and then they were like, I was crying. It was hard, you know, and it was my first time getting shot. And I cried that day. And when they took me home, they were like, Tshimangadzo, what happened? I told them I got shot. And they were, what? And my brother was like, I will not rest up until I find these guys. The day he said that out of anger. Because why would you kill my sister? Why would you shoot my sister? What did she do? Because I was minding my own business. I went to go outside to do what I was told to do and come back. I didn't realize I'm coming back to get shot. I got shot. I went to the hospital in Saipi. I think it was in Saipi. And then they helped. They stitched. First of all they had to clean the germs, the wound and everything. And I hate needles. They're so sore. Yo, I hate needles, guys. And then they stitched it up. And then since then, it took me a month. It took a month to heal. So I had to wear like a flop. So I was wearing a school shoe, then a flop on the other while going to school. I didn't have no crutches. Because luckily when they scanned, they saw that there was no bones that were hit or anything like that. It was just that the skin was open from the inside. And then they stitched it, and I got help, and I came home very late. Mind you, I still had to go to school the next day. So I went to school, and people were like, Habu, what happened? Why is Sia walking? I'm like, I told them that I got shot, guys. I'm like, everyone was shouting because, but same behind that, to this day, I still remember it. Whenever I go through that Lahanya, I always remember that day I got shot, but like, it's in the past, So, and I can't hold bitterness to those guys that shot me. I can't be angry at them forever because if holding resentment, it will be causing trauma to myself as well. So at some point, I don't. I honestly don't know them. I don't like going outside. I don't like. Maybe I will know them by their faces. Because one thing about me is extra like in my street, I will know you by your face but not by your name, or I'll know you by your name but not by your face. Because sometimes even when my grandmother asked me, do you know, say for example, Onika. Okay, Onika's my childhood friend. My best friend, like best friend from the street, and she's Inguya no Abenati are my two best friends from like the T section. No one else. I can't make other friends in the township because there's only party and weed and stuff, and I can't be in that crowd anymore because I was a girl that I used to smoke and I loved alcohol. But I've realized that, hey, this is not going to take you anywhere. So shift and take life seriously. Because sana, you'll now start regretting. And there'll be days where I regret moments that I was like, I wish this day did not happen. I could have just said no. But we move, guys. Don't use your past as your trauma. Don't use your past as something that will hold you down, but use your past to uplift you and take it as a lesson. Don't make a mistake. If you make a choice and you regret it, move on. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on the choice that you've made. You can still make a change. That's why we wake up every day in the morning. That's why every day we wake up. Just by waking up in the morning, that's a blessing. I may not have it all figured out now, but me waking up, that's a blessing, and just thank God and ask God to lead you to the way. And yeah.
I wanted to say, preach. Yeah. You are sharing something so profound, and the fact that you are motivating me here, I'm inspired, right? It sounds like you are a young person with an old soul.
I don't know. I really don't know. So I don't even know myself. Like, I believe I've realized that I'm good with interacting with old people majority of times than with abandabacha. Like they'll trust me when I say there are those good young people like me who are willing to make a change within ourselves, make a change within the community, like they can see the good. But then when I talk like for my mother, I'm closer with my mom than with my dad. She'll tell me all the stuff. She'll be like, Chima, as in Danam, when I was your age, I used to do this and this, and I wouldn't want you to be going through the same thing. That's why I believe that she believes that general curses end with her. But I pray to God that every day, even if it does not end with her, let it end with me. Because being a firstborn in the family is not an easy job. Firstborn son, firstborn daughter, it goes both ways. Because as a firstborn, you need to be perfect. People are looking up to you, must set an example. Blah blah. I'm like, guys, I'm a human. Like, give me a break. Like, that's why I almost killed myself. That's why there was another time where I had a knife. I took out a knife out of the kitchen, and this thought came to my head. I'd be like, what would happen if I really stabbed myself? I tried, but then something in me resisted. Something Something in me resisted. Something in me resisted, and then I placed it back, and I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't. I really cannot.
You're gonna stab yourself in the heart.
In my yeah. Yeah, because people believe that if you cutting yourself is therapeutic for some reason. Trust me, yeah, I've seen those stuff, hey. And sometimes when I'm going through like Instagram, it'll remind me of those days where, like, cause you know when you want to be happy, then you go through your FYP, for example, it will just somehow show a depressed something somehow that like just depress you and hold you, like take you back to those moments where like, I wish I should have done this, or oh, I wish I, but then I'm like, no man, I can't dwell on that. Yeah, I wanted to kill myself, but imagine if I wasn't, if I really killed myself, who knew that I would be in a podcast? Who knew that I would be in a record label? Who knew that I would attend a matric dinner? Who knew that I was a prefect in high school and primary school? Who knew that I survived a gunshot? Who, like, you know, if looking back to the little things that happen and the big things that happen in my life, I'm so grateful to God that, like, I wake up every morning finding a purpose, knowing that, like, there'll be days where you're like, yo, what's the point of waking up though? Like, why am I up? Like, like, I'll tell God, like, God, you can take my life now, you know, I'm done now. You can take me back home. I don't want to do this. But then God said, no, my daughter, there's a lot that I need to do to you. There's a lot that I have in store for you. But all you must do is just put your trust in me, put your hope. And I feel like that goes for everyone. Put your trust in God, believe in God. It's not going to be an easy journey, because there are things that you're going to have to resist while you're in your journey with God. And trust me, your journey with God, Sana, is hard. It's not for the weak. You need to commit yourself to Him. You need to commit your plans to Him, and it will require patience. Like, when I say patience, and I'm known to have little patience in the family. I don't have patience, and I don't pretend. Like, in my family, I'm known to have a face that if I see that I don't like you, you can tell by my face that I don't like you, bro. I don't want to hang out with you, bro. And my mother will be like, girl, fix your face. I'm like, I don't like this person. If it's either that, I'll just go into the room and just play music to put me to sleep. But yeah, that's Siyamthanda for you in the past. Now she's Siyamthanda in the present, focusing on herself and getting the bag and trusting God and But for every girl, boy, man, and woman, everyone out there, if there's any advice I would like to share with you guys, don't be afraid to start. Do it scared, do it tired, do it unmotivated. Do it, like, just do it. If you tell yourself that you're going to do it later in the day, or do it later, or like next week, or do it next year, well, it will seem harder than when you can just start now. And you'll figure the rest out in the way. How you figure it out, it's up to you, doll. But just figure it out. And I would also like to say, don't use your traumatic experiences as an excuse. Because everyone in this world has traumatic experience. We've all suffered through something or some things or a lot of things. And believe in God and believe in yourself and be faithful. Have hope. Viva hope. Yes. Hey. There was a time, last year, December, I did a self-reflection in 2024. I called out myself on certain questions. So there'll be questions that were like, so this is how I personally heal. I'll call myself on questions. I'll be like, did this happen? Is this how you wanted it to happen? Or do you remember it as is? Like, do you remember it like that? Or is that how in your mind, like, technically that's how you want it to happen? And I'll answer that, and there'll be questions that I'll do, like I'll write on a little book. Journaling also helped me, and praying as well. Always praying also helped. Repenting. It's hard dying to yourself every day, because there's things that you're gonna have to turn away from, and you'll be like, but I really have to turn away from this now. Like, no, you know, but. I believe the reason why I am this young girl that I am today, that this true person, this evolving person that I am today, is not by my works, not by my smartness, but by the grace of God and by the grace of my parents, even though they separated and they co-parenting, but also by their lessons as well. They also carried me the whole way, even though by the time I didn't really take it into lesson. But then if I have to look now and think now that, damn, my parents were right. If I focus on the worldly things, then my books are going to fail. And my books failed exactly, but I didn't let that stop me to focusing on my passion and what I want in life, because I know what I want in life. I want, if there was anything I want in life, it would be just for my family to be happy, like have a happy family, and for myself, be successful. I feel like everyone wants to be successful, But yeah, that's how I managed to help myself. Prayer, journaling, calling myself out on questions, crying. Sometimes you have to cry. Crying it helps. It helps. It really helps. But then you cry and cry, but don't stay there too long. Pick yourself up. And tell yourself that you got this. And words of affirmation. When I wake up, you always look at yourself in the mirror and I tell myself these 5 things. I'm ambitious, I'm strong, I'm kind, I love how I learn my mistakes, and I love how I am shifted to this person that I am today. I am, call abundance and blessings upon your life, because, the mouth is literally like a wand. If you tell yourself that you're stupid, you will literally be stupid. If you tell yourself that I'm not gonna make it, like what's the point of all this? Then later on in the years you really feel like, damn, I really said that, But if you tell yourself words and encourage yourself and say stuff like, I can do all things in Christ who strengthens me. If you tell yourself stuff like, I can do this, I can, just empower yourself, then when are you far? You are far. You far. So words of affirmation also helps. Talking to people, that along like my friends and my mother, it also helped as well. So yeah, that's how I managed to evolve to the person that I was.
You speak a lot about your mom, right? So it sounds like you are very close with your mom.
Very.
So just give me a glimpse as to how close are you with your mom, and what are the benefits of being close to your mom? Because one might look at it as like you're going to be disrespectful in the future. Maybe she opens up too much about herself and her journey to you. And yeah, you might think she's your friend, and then you start losing that respect. So what are the benefits from your end, right? Since you are close with your mom, I'm not sure how close you are, but what are the benefits that you are seeing being close to your mom? And what does it do to a girl? Like, does it matter so much that you become close with your mom so that you can open up about certain things, or you just have to be neutral?
Yeah, I'm there'll be days where I'll be neutral, but then I feel like I'm very closer with my mom, because there's certain situation that I'm going through right now, and she literally went through those situations. Like, for example, fighting with my father. Hey, I never had I can't say I have a good relationship with my dad, because every week it's always a fight after another. Like, it's always, and with my mom, she'll advise me about, like, don't worry about your dad. Your dad is like that, da 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 da. And she'll tell me, like, about life as a whole, like, as a girl, how I should take care of myself, like, in terms hygienically, how a girl should take care of herself, her surroundings, what a girl should do in a household, how she must think mentally. With my dad, it was also like that, but then it would be somehow turn into a political matter. Because through my dad, all I wanted was just like, how is it that you can get strength? Like, fight these guys who are approaching me. I can't do this, But like with my dad, there'll be those days where like we will laugh, we laugh our problems away. But then again, I still find it close. I find myself very closer with my mom than with my dad, because my mother, she understands me better, And I feel like as a girl, being close with your mom, losing your mother personally is very painful. I don't know, like, okay, and like losing a parent is painful actually, because those were your people. That's who you talk your matters to. But then there will be like kids my age who actually can't um talk to their parents about like how they feel, and so they would rather write it in a pen, like write it in a piece of paper, wrap it, and then put themselves to sleep and go cry for that matter, or stuff like that. And I used to do that. I never opened up to I wouldn't want to open up to my parents, because in my head I'd be like, if I open up to my mom, she's gonna say this. If I open up to my dad, she will say this. Because there was a time I told my dad I was suicidal, and then he just laughed about it. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's clear that I can actually trust a rock than a person, because what do you mean? I'm searching for help and you're busy laughing about my problems. How? So yeah, I believe the reason why I'm closer with my mom is because of the bond that we have together is unbreakable. Like, I'm her best friend. Like, I'm a broke bestie, basically. So yeah, and when we go out, she always tell me that she's proud of me, and she's proud of the little that I do. And she would tell me not to stress about financial matters, blah blah blah, like stuff like that, because I can see, for me personally, behind her smile, sometimes when she smiles, I can see behind the smile there is a part of her that is broken, or a part of her that has been taken away, and shame. I was like, we like encourage each other somehow. Like, we tell each other, don't give up, mama, you got this, or don't give up, my daughter, you can do this. That's why we have a strong bond. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm grateful to hear your story, right? And especially that you speak so profound about your mother. But in your father's defense, when it comes to him laughing at your mentor, it's how we are programmed as men, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anything that's regarding pain, it's part of our DNA. It's what we are taught. Right? We must go through stuff. Yeah, you are a man. So if you suffer, you are a man.
Yeah.
So when you say you want to kill yourself, the reason was the thing is that you are running away from your purpose, which is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, but I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm just trying to show you the reason that you laugh. Because we laugh even if there's a funeral. That's the
Yeah.
saying that we say as black people. So I don't know how to ask this. As someone who's so close now with your mom probably resents your dad. Did you take some of the anger towards your father just to be by?
Yeah. I think I get where the question is going. Okay. I don't know. I adapted my dad's stubbornness. I'm very stubborn. And I somehow developed my mother's caring, like kindness. She's kind. And yeah, I developed my mom's anger. I'm quick to get angry, And even my mom, when she's angry, she's angry. Like, she's angry. Like, yo, she doesn't hide her anger, that woman. And I also feel like I also don't hide my anger when I'm angry. And from my dad, if there's anything I took from my dad, it would be, what did I take from my father? Yeah, his stubbornness, yes. And I think his ability to think, And with my mom, it would be her sensitivity and her heart, and like how she cares about people and about herself. And yeah, both of my parents, I took something from them, and then I was like, okay, I have to build something here, And through my parents, because I'm the firstborn from my parents' side, I have to, by all means, make them proud. I don't know how, but I gotta make them proud, at some point. But what I love about my dad, he's a very good opportunist. Like, he doesn't hide himself from opportunities. If he sees an opportunity, he grabs it. He'll just take it with both of his hands. He'll be the first person to get that opportunity. Like, that guy. And what I like about him as well is that just because, you see, okay, so, Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of South Africa, he doesn't see him as that. He doesn't title himself as, like, he'll see you like, you're just like me. So he wouldn't go there and be like, oh, that's the president, I have to respect him. No, he'll go there and speak your language and be like, oh yeah, I know you from the TV. And then there'll be a one conversation and you just, they're like, how though? Because I fear the president and you just there talking gee. I'm like, how do you do this? Like, how are you so confident? He's very confident. My dad is confident and he doesn't hide himself. If he doesn't like something, he'll say it. I don't like this. And, That's what I love about my dad also.
Sounds like your dad is connected. He knows the president.
Yeah, he does actually. He knows because they speak the same language as well. They both, he's Shivenda and I'm mixed Xhosa and Venda. That's why Tshimangadzo, Siyamthanda. Because Tshimangadzo is my first name, Siyamthanda is my Tshimangadzo. Yeah, it means Smangaliso, miracle. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I was told by my by the church and by my parents, like my family as well, you should be careful what you name. Sometimes what you name your child, imagine naming your child the table. Because, because even our names, they have an effect in our lives sometimes, So, yeah, that's why I think I got the name. The reason why I got the name Tshimangadzo, I got it from my dad because his brother is Tshimangadzo. So his brother suffered. I don't know what he suffered from, but he was at the hospital, and everyone in the hospital passed away except him, his brother. And I went through the same situation as well. Now, when I said earlier on, I did mention that I suffer from epilepsy. And epilepsy is common to, you can suffer from that. It's it is a serious matter because you can faint now and die. Your epilepsy will take you once, but somehow I managed to survive that in the hospital and I was back in shape again, like nothing happened. And because, I would waste my parents' money when I was young. I was the sick person. I was always sick for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the fact that I'm premature or what, but yeah, that's why at this age, I'm this person that I am because of God and my parents. So shout out to my parents.
Yeah, shout out to your parents, man. I'm so grateful to meet you, and I would love to meet your parents someday because it sounds like they've done a great job. So I would love to be like them, like all my kids. So I would love to have 5 kids minimum when I grow up, and like 10 at least max, because I will have none. So what are your aspirations in this life? Now that you are who you are this amazing girl, like where do you see yourself in the future? Like what should you expect from you? Because today you are here, you're saying things that are so profound and positive. You are inspiring us, giving us motivation to move forward with life and to recognize that each and every day when we wake up, there's
purpose,
there's something, there's a purpose for us. So what's your purpose then from here moving forward?
Oh, well, I should say from two years in Clown, I see myself out of Kailicha. I really see myself out of the hood. I see myself living in a different place, starting afresh, meeting new people, and I see myself as the model. I love modeling with all my. I love modeling. Because I did modeling in high school, But I do see myself as a model. I see myself as maybe I might be an inspiration to other. Open up a dance group, sort of. Maybe open up a dance group, maybe then. And yeah, see myself in greater heights. Yes, greater heights. Yeah.
So as we had a conversation earlier on that you love the same other things, and I asked you about the importance of opening up to your mom. So here in the country, right, there's this we call it grade, you can't call it by its name because the generations. So there's this big story happening here in South Africa currently, there was a march and things like that. Yeah, I understand. So I'm trying to understand, man. You personally, have you ever been through that situation? Number 2, how should one tell if that thing happened? Because we are seeing a lot of posts on socials nowadays, people posting that, hey, this guy did this to me when I was this age, after 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So, like, on your end, as a female, what do you think also causes that for people to just be quiet for 15 years and then now be triggered to speak
about the matter?
Yeah, in this story.
Hey, I don't know, hey, because okay, I'll just give like a little brief. Maybe it's because that if we open up about the matter, no one is gonna hear us. Like like they won't take it seriously because it's okay, it happens. But then I think with this justice for Cwecwe, with this girl that got raped, I believe the reason why they're only opening about it now is because now I feel like they have a say. They believe that they have a say in just it's not just for justice for girls because if we remember in 2018 a girl named Uinene was raped at the post office. You see, and that was also a big case. And then it was the MI next to now justice for Cwecwe because as women are not safe. Yeah. And I've watched like videos of that as well, like on my socials as well. They'll be talking about Omnia would rape a dead woman's body in the coffin, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why? I don't believe it's all men, because there are good men out there. Like there are good men who have good intentions, but it is men. And I think this goes both sides. I don't want to just defend women. I feel like also men themselves. There are cases also where men also get raped. But then if it was a man who was speaking about the matter, they'd be like, that's gay, you know. And okay, for a man, it's very hard for you to speak about certain types of situations like that because you won't be seen at all. Like no one will want to hear you because the majority are the women that get raped, and then the men was like, so. But I believe that maybe the reason why they're quiet for 15, been quiet for 15 years or quiet for 20 years is maybe they were too scared to, they still, some of them, they were like, how did this happen? Why would this happen to me? Because in 2022, there was a mini market. A certain situation occurred to me like that. I didn't come home. Yeah, my mother was stressing. She was panicking. She was like, why didn't I come home? I was drunk by the time. I blacked out. And so it just happened. Everything happened so fast. Then when I came home, she was so frustrated. She'd be like, because she knows that's not me. I wouldn't just go out and then come home the next day. That's not what I'll do. If I go to a certain place, I'll come back home the same day. But that was my first time actually going missing without saying no communication, nothing. I left my parents stressed, and that is my fault for leaving them just like that in the blue. And I also saw this other post where this girl blacked out. She was intoxicated, and then this guy took advantage of that. And I believe that, guys, if a girl is really intoxicated, don't just let her go. Like, let her go. Like, go home. Like, go home. And because I believe some things could also maybe because of alcohol. Alcohol is a big issue also. It is a big issue for me. It is a big issue because when they drunk, they tend to do things unexpectedly, and then they don't remember and then the next day they won't remember what happened. But alcohol isn't the problem. Actually, it's actually the person. It's all up in the mind. Alcohol does nothing, but it's the person. Low. If you have 5 beers and you go to drink all those 5 beers to yourself, then I that's a you thing. That is a you thing. Because you can buy alcohol and still sit, chill at home, no stress. You can chill at home, buy yourself 2 beers, good music, good food. Listen, if it's like a two people also in the same, then it's all sharp and cool. But yeah, but I believe we shouldn't be silent. Everyone, like both male and female, should not be silent. If a certain situation happens, speak up about it. And if they won't hear you, then. But what is important is as long as you spoke up immediately and you opened immediately, go kiss a fresh instead of trying to open up a few years later. Yeah.
Yeah, because it sounds like to me the justice system somehow fails people, right? Because they're also blaming it on this case that the mom, she's working for the government,
Government.
SAPS to be specific, and this thing happened and it's dragging already for her. So if the government is doing this, don't you feel like he is also like the government is also perpetrating this to happen to people because of people are losing faith right, in reporting these things, and yet someone is benefiting from this. So if we are broken, right, we're gonna have some diseases, right? So you go here to get a disease, and then the money, the pharmaceuticals are making money because you're gonna depend on their medicine. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not sure, man, how you feel about this thing, but can you just share your thoughts when um, what do you think when we should change, like in the society, number one? Because someone's going to get drunk today and something bad might happen to those people, right? And number two, there's a boy or guy out there who's going to get drunk, who's planning to have it by any means necessary with an intoxicated lady, right? So what do you think are the measures we should take, right, to make sure that at least we are safe at night, man, especially when it comes to your neighborhood sightseeing, you had your bars there, understand, and you know how the media said word about him. It was like, yo, that guy, see, you know.
It's this and that.
Yeah. So, what measures do you think we can implement? And just in jail, your thoughts, we're not saying this is a blueprint that things people need to follow, but we never know if what you say today might be implemented in 4 to 5 years and then you can save lives. But just your opinion.
My thoughts.
Yeah.
What really can be changed in this society? Well, I'll start small by saying let's not learn to judge one another. Like, let's not learn to judge one another without knowing the background story, like what really caused the person to do such. Or like, instead of jumping into conclusions, let's learn to sit down and have a happy community in terms of like let's also not gossip about certain situations, and have the police as well also take action as well, because like Auction isn't a safe place to be at all. Let's be honest. It's not a safe place to be a vele. But I believe that the police and as well as the community can work hand in hand if we, because Fridays to Sundays it's a weekend in Kulu sightsee. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you buy alcohol and you go. Whereas Friday is a wire up until 11 o'clock. And then obviously after 11 o'clock, after 11 o'clock there'll be gunshots, so a glass got broke, a glass broke, someone's glass broke, and they got to shoot that person because of that glass or beer or whatever, because it was so expensive. So let's also learn to limit ourselves. If you feel like this is how much you can handle, like if you feel like this is how much you can handle, then set that limit and speak about certain things and have I feel like each town should have a community service sort of, where you complain about your problems and then go okay, to put that into action and stuff like that. Something like that though. Just something like that. Yeah. That's what I think should be done.
That's great, man. It's great advice. I'm not sure if you don't want to be a politician.
And get shot to you. I wanted to be an activist once in my life in grade 10 because I loved history. Even though I wasn't that good in history, but I forgot to mention that my dad is also a politic man. He loves the news. He loves wanting to know what's going on around South Africa and specifically South Africa, and he knows his background very well. In my lifetime, I wanted to be a social activist, but then I was like, really? Should I really do it? But I would love to give it a try, being an activist, not only speaking for my community, but speaking for like other certain communities, like changes that should be done. Because I believe that we can make a change in ourselves and in the community as well if we just learn to be kind to one another. Just be kind. Yes.
Yeah, so if you were this activist, what would your main topic be? Like, did you have a certain issue that you feel like you wanted to tackle the most? Because I personally will tackle the capitalism. So for me, on my end, I'm seeing that people are looking for money and it's breaking their backs a lot. So, capitalism. I even coined a word which I say, I personally, I know that I'm fighting the system. I hate the fact that I have to wake up, leave my family, go work for 12 hours, and then get paid for
Come.
months. And the same money I worked for, I'm still giving back to the same
To the
master.
tax stuff. Yo, tax. Yo, you know tax. Yo, yeah, it robs. Robs a lot of people. Yeah, robbers. Like I've picked. It's only black people that get pinned. You know, because celebrities themselves. Because they don't like Makadzi, for example. I heard that she got pinned because she doesn't pay her taxes. I'm like, a white man will literally walk with a hand full of billions of rands without saying anything, and they'll just let them be, and you'll be like, what? And then us as black people, we have to suffer because of tax. Like, come on. I personally believe tax is a scam as well.
Yeah, man, sounds like you were brought in this earth to suffer. Sounds like this is the new thing that we know, right? Suffering, because if you make it in life, we're gonna say, I 12 or 8, you are associated with the white people.
Illuminati or such. Yo, hate is a big word. I dislike such people, especially in our black communities. Black communities, we don't want to support one another. We don't like it when another black person succeeds. Instead of congratulating the person, like, yo, you know, you can go bankrupt or something bad must happen to you, you know. And that's not right. That paints a bad picture. That literally paints a bad picture. So instead of like, let's support one another and learn from one another. Like, okay, how did you become this successful? And then with that, you can learn and then go, you can also do better as well. But in our black communities, we can never get that because it's either we dislike each other or we jealous or, you know, we envy one, and Sana, that's not nice. But yes, I believe, yeah, like a lot of us as black people, we don't want to support, and that's why like us as blacks, we're going down because and white people are succeeding because blacks, we just don't want others to succeed. The reason why I also know this is because, okay, we all know Tyler. She's successful. She's traveling the world, blah blah blah, because of a song called Water. Now you will get those comments where be like, oh, I don't like her. Oh, not just because she made a song called Water, now she's famous, she's traveling over the world, blah, you know. And Sana, I believe it's insecurity problems. You have insecurity problems. Like, pray about it. If you don't like it, pray about the matter and you succeed alone. Because at the end of the day, the only person that has your back is you. It's you against you. So, yebo. That's my say.
Yeah, man.
That's my 2 cents.
I'm glad to have met someone your age who speaks so much about these issues, and then you're really scared, no, but then you're taking charge of your life at an early age, because others realize the mindset that you have, or they see the light in their 30s, 40s, sometimes in 50s. So you are so lucky to be like this, and I'm sure that you're going to succeed in life, especially that you have a parent like the ones that you have that are so supportive, that are giving you advice and everything that you need in life so that you can succeed. So on my side, I have like a couple of questions just to make this thing a little light, because we spoke about deep things and we almost cried here and there. So yeah, I just wanted us to laugh, man. So I've wrote these questions here. So hopefully you're gonna find them funny too. So the first question would be, what's the most ridiculous thing that you've ever googled at 2 a.m.?
What is the what is the most
ridiculous thing you've ever googled at 2 a.m.?
what is the most ridiculous thing? What is it really? Why do dogs have legs? Why? I Google not. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever Googled. Like, how do you stop a fly flying over your face? Those type of. I'm that random. I'm very random. I'm very random. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if animals could talk, which one do you think will be the biggest gossiper?
I feel like a cat.
Cat?
Yes. Oh, those cats. Cats are between a cat or they have different. They express themselves like they're a whole different breed. Like they'll just they'll just come to you and they'll demand attention. And I feel like they'll really gossip. They'll be the gossip. Or if not a cat, then an owl. Maybe, yeah. An owl. Yeah.
I agree with that. So, if your life was a sitcom, what would the theme song be?
If my life would be very sad. It would be sad. I believe I would be playing Zivia in my sitcoms. Zivia, this artist, she expresses her pain through songs, right? So, but okay, because of like trauma and stuff, I'll be playing those type of songs if my life was a sitcom. If it was comedy in between, then I'll be playing like those. What's this? It's at the tip of my tongue. But if a life like mine, it will be very sad. Yes, it will be Zivia. Yeah, Zivia. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you were a villain in a movie, what would be your evil plan? Like, what would be your plan? Like, evilest thing? Because there's a cartoon called Pinky and the Brain. So, Pinky and the Brain, they want to take over the world. That's the evil plan. So, if you were a villain in the movie, what would be your evil plan?
What would be my evil plan? What? Hey! Actually, when I think about it, what would my evil plan be? Eradicate nature, destroy nature. I don't know. But if I was a villain, then I would destroy nature because. But if I was a villain, though, not I am, I would never do that. But if I was.
And what's the worst advice you confidently given someone? The worst advice you given?
Follow your heart. Don't do that. It's deceitful. Turn away from it. Don't follow it. Yo, follow your heart, doll. There's no such thing as follow your heart. You will die. Yo. If I was?
No, just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't follow your heart, sweethearts. Yeah.
So lastly, what's the lie you told as a kid which spiraled out of control? Maybe you lied about something and then your parents or someone took it serious and then made a big deal out of it. Yeah, for example, you said, I have a stomach ache, I don't want to go to school. And then all of a sudden, your mom tells you, things like that. So
okay, it wouldn't be in a case like that. So I broke a glass. No, like a frame. Me and my brother were playing ball inside the house, and I broke a frame. And then when my mother came back, she'd be like, "What happened?" And then I told her that it fell. And mind you, it was facing the wall literally, so it would not fall. It wouldn't. It really didn't make sense, but. I told her it fell, and then she took it to a deeper level. Like she escalated it. Like she would tell my grandmother, and my grandmother would tell my lume. Like it would go around the family, and I'm just like, damn, I wish you could have just said that you threw the ball at the thing. But okay, you know when you were a kid, when you were a child, you do stupid things, throw a rock at a car and stuff, just throw stones. through stones. Okay, I never done that though. No, I'm not. I wasn't that much of a nana. But that's a lie that I told. That's one lie that I actually told. That yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, on my end, I'm done with the questions that I prepared. I'm so grateful that you came and shared your story. We wish you nothing but the best. What are your closing remarks for today? What's your word for the day?
Word for the day.
Share.
Word of the day. It's not the word of the day, but it's a Bible verse. So Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not into your own understanding, for in your ways acknowledge him and he shall direct you in your right paths. That's the word of the day.
Okay, that's a wrap.